You are listening to the Why Smart Women podcast, the podcast that helps smart women work out why we repeatedly make the wrong decisions and how to make better ones. From relationships, career choices, finances, to faux fur jackets and kale smoothies. Every moment of every day, we're making decisions. Let's make them good ones. I'm your host, Annie McCubbin, and as a woman of a certain age, I've made my own share of really bad decisions. Not my husband. I don't mean him, though. I did go through some shockers to find him. And I wish this podcast had been around to save me from myself. This podcast will give you insights into the working of your own brain, which will blow your mind. I acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which I'm recording and you are listening on this day. Always was, always will be, Aboriginal land. Well, hello, smart women. For the next 3 weeks, I'm going to be playing 3 chapters a week of my audiobook from Why Smart Women Make Bad Decisions and How Critical Thinking Can Protect Them. So if you find yourself listening in and you're up to chapter 4, by all means, wind it back, go back to chapter 1 because it's a narrative and it has a very strong narrative arc. Hope you enjoy it. See you on the other side. Bye. Chapter 10. The Hipster is Back. The hipster is back. You arrive home to find him sitting on the couch with his back to you, stroking the cat. You gasp. He's cut his hair and is wearing a suit. At first you think he's an intruder. You begin backing out the door as he turns around and smiles at you naturally, like he's just returned from a quick trip to the corner shop. You gasp again. He's shaved his beard.
You like the clean-shaven look?
He says. You don't know what to say. Except for the glimpse of him over the banister at the party, you haven't seen him for 8 months. The treacherous cat, feigning indifference to the hipster's patting, moves away from him to the other end of the couch and looks at you. You refuse to meet the cat's gaze. You're still standing at the door. What do you want? You say.
I bought wine.
He says, waving a medium-priced Sauv Blanc at you. Oh, you say.
It's your favourite.
I don't drink anymore. You lie.
Okay.
He says.
Mind if I do?
The question is clearly rhetorical. He stands and confidently goes to the cupboard where the wine glasses are kept. You wish you'd rearrange the cupboards.
Nice dress.
You look down. It's not nice. It's the green floral dress that makes you look fat. You put your hand to your hair, feeling the residue sweat from tonight's gym class. Why did he have to come on a Wednesday? You have Wednesday hair. Why couldn't he surprise you on a Tuesday? Tuesday is your best hair day. How did you get in? You say. He pulls a key from his pocket and dangles it from his index finger. You force your legs to move and advance towards him, take the key from his hand and promptly drop it. You both lean down at the same time to pick it up, bumping heads. He picks it up and places it in your palm. Anyway, the cat is happy here, you say.
Well, I'm not here about the cat,
says the hipster, moving towards the wine bottle. Your heart smacks against your ribs. The cat feigns indifference. A knock at the door and Mrs. Hume's voice.
Cat, I've a delivery for you.
A delivery? Maybe he sent flowers as well. You move towards the door, open it. Mrs. Hume stands there without flowers.
A delivery?
You say. Mrs. Hume gives you a cryptic look and peers past your shoulder.
All okay?
She whispers with the back of her hand to the side of her mouth.
I saw him entering the building at 5:45. I made a positive identification, even though he was wearing a suit and had shaved his beard. I see why he had a beard. His chin is quite weak. So, he's been in your flat for 1 hour and 45 minutes.
You look back over your shoulder. He's standing at the kitchen bench, drinking the Sauv Blanc and flicking through your mail.
He had a key.
You say. Mrs. Hume pulls a deeply disapproving face.
Well, you know where I am, Cat.
She squeezes your shoulder and looks at you like you've had a recent bereavement. You become aware of a tapping noise coming from the Kovachic's flat.
And I've alerted Mr. Kovacic,
she says.
He's on standby.
The door to Mr. Yee's apartment opens minimally. Mr. Yee's hand appears and gives you the thumbs up.
I've also told Mr. Yee and his wife.
Thanks.
You whisper.
Tell them I'm fine.
You shut the door and lean on it, wishing you hadn't told the no-drinking lie. The hipster has returned to the couch.
Who was that?
He says with such casual intimacy you want to swoon.
What do you want? Rebecca throw you out?
You sound unflinching, brave to your own ears.
Well, I bought you something.
He says, walking towards you. Before his hand has completed the descent into his pocket, your brain has gifted you your life as Mrs. Hipster. It has you happily walking out of your recently renovated semi with 2 children. A boy of 2, Angus, in dungarees, and a girl of 5, Matilda, in a ballet skirt. You have apparently just returned from a holiday in the Maldives. The hipster hands you an envelope. You open the envelope while berating yourself for having such a gendered portrayal of your children. You reimagine the scene with the boy wearing the ballet skirt. Your brain is struggling with the cognitive dissonance, however. Angus is not happy. He's holding onto the doorframe, screaming while you try and cajole him down the path. Parenting is harder than you thought. You pull 2 tickets out of the envelope. They're to a Tony Robbins weekend extravaganza starting tomorrow. You are suspicious. Tony Robbins is a giant, literally. The hipster knows that tall people and very large animals leave you cold. Did he really buy them for you? He's looking at you intently.
I bought them for you and then just couldn't ring you.
You look back at him, feeling an unfamiliar stirring of irritation.
You understand how a phone works, right?
You say.
Touch screens have really simplified the process of dialing.
He is sent off kilter. Your truculence is foreign to you both.
They were really expensive.
He says plaintively.
Why don't you take Rebecca?
You jut out your chin and narrow your eyes like a feisty female detective in an interview room scene. In the myriad return of the hipster scenarios you've concocted, not once did he waltz into the flat using his own key and present you with tickets to a Tony Robbins weekend extravaganza. He looks sadly at you.
Rebecca and I, our life goals aren't aligned.
You hand him back the envelope and walk to the kitchen bench. You check your Fitbit. You've been home 15 minutes already and he hasn't apologised. Tell him to go. Ask him to give you back your washing machine, dryer, coffee table, Moroccan teapot and matching glasses and remote. Show him the door. You're busy. If he wants to see you, he should use the proper channels. Call you, text you, ask you to dinner. Tony Robbins tickets? Jesus, just tell him to go. Do it. Tell him to go. But he's wearing the jumper you bought him and his aftershave keeps wafting towards you.
So, do you want some dinner?
You say.
Well, we could go get some.
He says.
I'm in a new relationship.
You say.
Oh, with who?
Whom?
You correct.
Whom?
Michael. He's from IT. He's really nice.
As the words come out, you consider the possibility that you just might mean them. He moves back to the couch, toying with the remote. Hang on, the remote.
Is that the remote?
You say.
Oh, yeah.
He says. He turns to you at the bench.
What's with the tapping next door?
You realise the tapping is going on intermittently. You don't answer. You're trying to work out whether to dig into the saga of the remote. The cat moves towards him. He takes a strip of beef jerky from his jacket and shares it with her. He offers you some.
You eating okay?
What happened to the veganism?
You ask.
Oh, yeah. Well, kitten, I was tired all the time. Figured out humans need meat.
Kitten. He just called you kitten. He moves towards you, touches your cheek.
You look tired, darling.
Tired, yes. You're so tired. So very tired. Tired from day after day in the corporate trenches, tired of rice crackers, tired of exercising and trying not to get fat, tired of missing him. You could shut your eyes and lean forward and lay your head on his shoulder.
So, is President Cat still terrorising the neighbourhood?
He asks.
Yes.
You both turn and look at the cat. She is now sitting on the kitchen bench licking one paw, considering her options.
She rules the complex with an iron paw.
You say. You both laugh. His eyes crinkle. It's like Rebecca from the real estate and the last 8 months never happened. No, cat, no, stop it. You move away from him, resolute about not being a pushover. He betrayed you. He has to say he's sorry.
What's with the suit?
You say.
Corporate life coach, helping others to live their life on purpose.
He pauses.
I saw Samantha.
My sister, Samantha.
He nods.
Where?
Alexandria?
He says.
Why was she in Alexandria?
I don't know, Cat. That's not the point.
He dislikes his stories being interrupted. He stands and looks at you intently, brushes a hair from your forehead. He smells fantastic. Nobody has ever looked at you like this. You're the only person in his universe. If you could just hold this moment, stay here forever. This is what you missed. This is why you'll take him back. You exhale slowly, relax. Realise you've been holding your breath.
Kitten, someone as beautiful as you doesn't deserve to be lonely.
Your chest tightens. Lonely? No, no, no. Lonely people are not appealing. Stupid Samantha has inferred you're lonely while standing in the street in Alexandria. You want to project busy, occupied, frantic. Juggling 2 phone calls at once at the tail end of the day, jumping in a taxi after leaving work late to meet your friends in a city bar before kicking on to the new Japanese restaurant in Surrey Hills, before jumping in an Uber to the airport to fly to Port Douglas for the weekend for a conference and also a wedding. Not sitting at home with his cat, fielding concerns from your elderly neighbours. Younger and happily engaged to a property lawyer, Samantha will pay for this. He moves away from you, looking at his phone. The tapping is still going on. They must be putting pictures of their entire extended family on the wall.
I'm going out to a party soon, I forgot.
You say.
Anyway, Kitten, I hadn't seen Sam since we broke up. What are the chances?
We didn't break up. You slept with Rebecca from the real estate, then left me.
So I'm mid-session with a client,
He continues.
talking about his relationship, and it hit me like a bolt of lightning. I thought I can't be advising others on their life purpose without getting my own house in order.
Does he mean you are his house?
I was meant to meet you, Kitten, then lose you, then find you again. I think this is our path.
You didn't lose me.
You say.
You slept with Rebecca from the real estate during a mould inspection, then left me for her. Also, you took the couch and the remote and other things that weren't yours.
He touches the arm of the new couch.
Nice.
Nice? It's mustard with brown piping. It's hideous. You'd stood in the showroom of the furniture shop holding the cat, sobbing to the salesman that you didn't care what it looked like. You needed something cheap because your boyfriend had left you and taken the couch, and you and the cat were sitting on dining chairs to watch TV. The salesman had looked at the cat for confirmation. The cat had looked away.
It's his cat.
You'd offered as explanation. The hipster is reaching into his pocket again.
Here's what I really wanted to bring you.
There is another knock at the door. You reluctantly open it. Mrs. Hume is standing there. Behind her, Mr. and Mrs. Kovacic, Mr. Yee and his wife, and Nika bringing up the rear.
I'm okay.
You hiss.
Really, I am.
You want me to get rid of boy?
Whispers Mr. Kovacic, looking past Mrs. Hume into the room.
Dad, settle down.
Says Nika, giving you a half apologetic, half encouraging smile. You narrow the opening of the door. Mrs. Hume elbows Mr. Kovacic in the chest.
Mr. Kovacic, we agreed it's best if I'm spokesperson.
Says Mrs. Hume. Mrs. Kovacic is beaming at you.
Yes, Kat. Mrs. Hume is the speaker.
She says, laying her hand on Mrs. Hume's shoulder reverentially. Mrs. Hume, the pattern of the flats, strategizing over maps with her loyal generals.
Okay, but did you hear my tapping?
Says Mr. Kovacic.
Tapping?
You say. You look back at the hipster. He's looking impatient. You roll your eyes in the direction of the neighbours.
Another bin dispute.
You mouth to him. You look back. Mr. Yee pipes up from the back.
Tell him the cat is happy here.
He offers.
I don't think that's relevant.
Says General Hume tersely. Mr. Yee looks crestfallen. You feel disloyal about the bin comment.
Cat?
Calls the hipster. If the second gift is more tickets to see motivational speakers with gigantism, you'll throw him out. However, if it's an engagement ring, you haven't got time to stand here at the door. You have weight to lose and a wedding to plan.
Coming.
You say. You can see General Hume is not happy. Her battle plan is failing. She will temporarily retreat, but there will be a regrouping in the bunker.
Honestly, I'm fine.
You say, smiling brightly to indicate how fine you are.
She's fine, guys.
Says Nika.
Let's leave her alone.
She attempts to pull her mother away from the door, but Mrs. Kovacic is immovable. Nothing will distract her from her post. As you shut the door, they are all standing there in their phalanx. Their concerned camaraderie, though vaguely humiliating, has nevertheless bolstered your confidence. You turn towards the hipster, leaning on the back of the door.
What have you got for me? Tickets to Jordan Peterson?
He walks towards you, kisses you on the cheek and places in your hand a box. The aftershave is definitely the one you gave him. You undo the ribbon. They can all come to the wedding. Mrs. Kovacic can make the dress. Nika can be your maid of honour. Mrs. Hume can organise security. Mrs. Yee can... It's a necklace. You untether the necklace from its box and hold it up. It has a pattern of intricate, densely packed chips of crystals, rose quartz. It's pretty, sweet. You peer closely at it. Out of the swirl, 2 letters form. R.L.
This says RL.
Yes, it does.
He replies.
What's it stand for?
Real love.
He says, smiling. You look at him. His eyes are a deep green-brown. You stare directly into them, trying to divine if he's genuine. He looks back at you without guile. Then he smiles, and you are reacquainted with his tiny teeth. Then you know. You are sure. He's given you Rebecca's necklace. Rebecca Larkham.
Did you buy this for Rebecca?
He looks away sorrowfully, moving across the room to the cat. He strokes her under her chin. The cat, already struggling with an image problem, now looks like Mussolini, her chin up. If she had lips, she'd be pouting. They both look at you, united in their disappointment.
What happened to us, kitten?
You left me for Rebecca from the real estate.
There is a long pause.
Did you ever ask yourself why?
You feel faint. He's not here to apologise. He's here to blame you. This is your fault. It's always your fault. Your breath is trapped in your chest like bellows that are stuck halfway. You can't breathe in or out. Your scalp is fielding sharp, cold electric shocks that travel across your head in a disorganised Mexican wave. The cat, finally calling her pick, jumps off the counter and wreathes herself around your legs.
You have terrible trust issues, Kat.
You recover slightly.
You cheated on me, and not just with Rebecca from the real estate. I have good intelligence that I was right about you at Luella's wedding.
Good intelligence? Why do you sound like you're in the middle of a police drama?
Amy's behind that gossip, isn't she?
He says.
She was always trying to break us up. She had a real thing for me.
Anyway,
You say.
the pudgy baby groom has given Luella a baby. They're very happy, and he's lost weight.
What are you talking about? How did you get to Luella's husband's weight loss?
Look, I know I was off purpose back then.
He says.
I was struggling with spiritual nullification, but at least I was living.
You doubt spiritual nullification is a thing. If it is a thing, it shouldn't be. It sounds awful.
What were you doing back then, Kat?
Pilates?
You offer?
Kat, who are you? Half of our problem is you don't know who you are.
Why are you standing here in your lounge room with this man who is justifying his appalling behaviour by blaming you? You know it's not going to be any different. Are you so desperate to have him back you'll put up with this? It looks like it.
Anyway, kitten, none of it matters. I love you.
He walks towards you, takes the necklace from your hand, turns you around, lifts your hair, clasps the necklace around your head and kisses you on the top of your head. He loves you. He will forgive you for not knowing who you are. Your future as a family of 4 returns into view. He puts both hands on your shoulders, turns you around and looks you dead in the eye.
I love you.
He says. Threads of happiness weave up through your chest. A laugh escapes you. All will be well. Your life is back on track. You've successfully arraigned Angus to be a gender nonconformist. He twirls down the path in his tutu. You put your hand to your throat, touch the necklace. The hipster kisses you on your nose.
Come on, darling. Let's get dinner.
He says. You move towards him, put your arms around his neck. You see your bookshelf over his shoulder. The book, your partner, your teacher, winks at you. Why are you prevaricating? There's learning in this, for both of you. He's right, you were part of the problem. You'll go to dinner, acknowledge that, and tell him a thing or two about his behaviour. He'll listen, all will be good.
What are the Lebs doing? Renovating? Must be driving you crazy.
Says the hipster. You realise the knocks have restarted. You remember you hate the way he talks about the Kovaciks. You take your arms from around his neck. The sounds are now becoming more insistent. Your brain begins to sort the random noise into a pattern. Then it clicks. It's Morse code. The hipster cuts across the tapping.
Kitten, do you want to go?
He's making it hard to decode.
Shh, I'm listening.
You move towards the wall, lay your palm against it. The sounds begin to make sense in your brain. Words are forming. Don't believe what boys say. He is shit. You smile to yourself and begin to tap out your reply. And as you're tapping it out, you turn back and look at him. He's sitting on the hideous replacement couch, flicking through channels with the remote. You are hit with such a blinding realisation that you have to stop tapping and lean on the wall. It's not you. It's him. You are not fat, and even if you were, that would be okay. You are an intelligent, funny, kind person, and you're really good at your job. He, on the other hand, is a liar, a philanderer, and a thief with tiny teeth. The problem is not you. You want to ring Rebecca from the real estate and every other girl who's been with him. It's not us you want to say, it's him. We're just interchangeable pawns in his game. Well, actually, it could be Rebecca from the real estate's fault as well, but it's still probably mainly him. Thanks, you tap out. He's going soon. The cat is sitting between the hipster and the TV, blocking the screen.
Hey, cat, get out of the way.
He says to her.
Why didn't you give her a name?
You say. He looks at you.
Why didn't you?
He says.
I did.
You say.
Well?
You pause. All available cat names have temporarily escaped your brain.
Come here, Susan.
You called the cat Susan?
Yes.
You say. The cat turns her back on you. You walk towards the hipster, take the remote from his hand, go to the front door and open it. Mrs. Hume, the Kovaciks and the Yees are still standing there. You smile at them.
We going?
The hipster says. You turn back and face him.
I'm not.
You say.
But you are.
He looks at you. You pick up his backpack. He picks up the cat.
I was going to call her Felix.
He says, scratching her under the chin. You hand him his backpack.
You really want me to go?
He says. He looks mystified. He looks past you at your neighbours. The cat jumps out of his arms. You take off Rebecca from the real estate's necklace and pass it to him. He weighs the necklace in his hand.
You're not serious.
He says.
She's dead serious, mate.
Says Mr. Kovacic from behind Mrs. Hume.
Dad,
Says Nika.
settle down.
She smiles at you over the shoulder of her mother.
Kat knows what she's doing.
The hipster's face hardens. His nostrils whiten. His top lip stretches over his small teeth. He rubs his hand rapidly over his hair. You notice some thinning on top. He would hate that. He looks at Nika. Your stomach tightens.
What?
He says to her.
Well, you know about relationships. You ever been in one?
Mrs. Kovacic must have been athletic in her day because she's across the room and poking the hipster in the chest before you can blink.
Yes,
Mrs. Kovacic says.
she has been in a relationship. She in lovely one at the moment.
The hipster takes a step back.
And you know what else, bully boy? Her girlfriend doesn't throw things at her or run off with real agent estate.
Oh, God, Mum.
Says Nika. The hipster bares his tiny teeth, looking down at Mrs. Kovacic. He turns towards you.
You need a bunch of lebs to tell you what to do, Kitty.
He says.
How about just once in your life you make a decision for yourself?
Mrs. Kovacic hisses through her teeth. Mrs. Hume grips the doorway. Mr. Kovacic takes a step forward. Mr. Yee puts a warning hand on his arm. The hipster leans in, holds your chin. His face softens.
We would have had the most beautiful children.
He says, kissing you softly on the forehead. Angus and Matilda float across your vision. They're sitting in the back of a large four-wheel drive, both waving happily at you. How nice of the hipster to take them out to the park, you think, so you can have some me time. Then your gaze shifts to the front of the car. Why is Rebecca from the real estate with her bouncy ponytail and perfect skin driving? Whose fantasy is this? Rebecca turns back and smiles at the children. The hipster sits in the front seat, his hand on Rebecca from the real estate's knee. You are not their mother. Besides anything else, their hair colour is wrong. You would think at least one of your children would have dark hair. You look at the hipster steadily. He's smiling softly at you.
They're Croatian.
You say.
What?
He says.
The Kovaciks are not from Lebanon.
You say.
They're Croatian.
He abruptly swings his backpack onto his back and turns back to the cat.
You coming, Susan?
The cat jumps onto the couch and commences licking one paw. He gets to the door, turns back and looks at you. You dig your nails into your hand. He looks sad. Here's your last chance to chuck Rebecca from the real estate out of the four-wheel drive.
Listen.
You begin. He interrupts.
If you don't think you'll be coming to the Tony Robbins weekend, let me know and I'll see if someone else wants the ticket. They're expensive.
Your resolve hardens and your heart closes over the last molecule of hope. Rebecca can have him. Then you feel something for him you've never felt before. Pity. Because you won't be going to dinner. You won't ever be Mrs. Hipster, and you won't be giving back the cat. He walks out of the door past the neighbours. Mrs. Kovacic squeezes your shoulder.
Don't forget I left strudel in fridge.
She says. She walks to the door.
Come on, Lucy.
She says, taking Mrs. Hume's arm.
Time for sherry.
Mrs. Hume smiles at you and closes the door behind her. The cat looks at you. You pick her up and put her on the kitchen counter.
I'm sorry I said your name was Susan.
You feel she forgives you. You go to the window and watch the hipster walking away from your building. He's on his phone, probably trying to shift the ticket. You see your reflection in the window for the first time in a long time. You don't turn sideways to see how your stomach looks sucked in. You do know who you are. You're Kat Mitchell. You're 33 years old. You don't know what you weigh, and tonight you will cook dinner for your neighbours. Kat learns how to say no. This is where the rubber hits the road. Try this quick quiz. You've made a delightful meal for your boyfriend. As usual, he's 2 hours late. When he arrives, he says he was held up at work, his phone was on silent, and he lost track of time. As he kisses you hello, you note alcohol on his breath, inexpertly covered up with minty breath freshener. Do you A. Smile brightly, pull his dinner out of the oven and pour him a glass of wine? B. Smile brightly, pull his dinner out of the oven and pour him a glass of wine laced with dog sedative? C. Smile brightly, pull his dinner out of the oven, throw it at him, pour him a glass of wine and drink it yourself? D. This quiz doesn't relate to you because the first time he did it, you calmly sent him home, deleted him from your phone, and ate the meal on your own in front of Netflix. If your answer is A, B, or C, read on. Why do we stay in rubbish relationships? Whenever we're confronted with someone staying in a disastrous relationship, we shake our heads in amazement and ask how it is possible that the person, often a woman, doesn't see the truth and leave. We all know people who go from crappy relationship to crappy relationship. Who knows? You may be one of them. Many of us are highly talented at finding ourselves in rubbish relationships, on the receiving end of crappy behaviour by the partner, then taking responsibility for everything that goes wrong. As we've seen over the course of the book, there are many flaws in our thinking that lead us into the land of poor decision-making. Allowing yourself to get entangled with a narcissist is an example of flawed thinking leading to terrible consequences. Narcissists and those who love them. Kat's hipster displays the classic characteristics of a narcissist. He's charming, good-looking, and really attentive at the beginning of the relationship. He just can't keep the attention up for long because, at the end of the day, it's all about him. He's well practiced at manipulating women to get what he wants. He has an inflated sense of his own importance and desirability, and he can't self-reflect on his own failings. Kat is a prime target for his sort of seduction. She is anxious and a people-pleaser, and desire is a powerful force. She wants to believe him when he says he loves her. She wants the relationship to be the idealised one she has dreamt of, so she goes to great lengths to justify his appalling behaviour. Read quality literature. Good writers have a better grip on the human condition than most gurus. Cognitive dissonance. The hipster's questionable behaviour causes Cat some cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is having inconsistent, often contradictory beliefs, values or ideas. Cat becomes uncomfortable when new evidence challenges her idea of who the hipster is as a person. So to relieve the discomfort, she rationalises her doubts away. Here are some of the behaviours that Cat rationalised away. They should be a red flag if you're ever a recipient of them. He yelled at her. There is no justification for someone yelling at you, ever. He demeaned her. He tried to control her weight. He was unfaithful. He helped himself to her assets. He forced responsibility for his cat onto her. He let himself into her apartment after not seeing her for 8 months. He went through her mail. He blamed her for his unfaithfulness. He gave her gifts he bought for someone else, then lied about it. He was sexually inappropriate with someone, then denied it. He gaslit her. Confirmation bias. There were plenty of signals along the way that Cat was in a relationship with a narcissist, but confirmation bias allowed her to see only what she wanted to see. And what Cat wanted to see, so she could justify staying in the relationship, were examples of her own failures. She wanted to prove to herself that she was to blame for the problems in the relationship. The hipster was more than happy to support this version of the relationship. His modus operandi was to constantly imply that any problems in the relationship were caused by Cat and her many flaws. Beware of being pulled in by charming people who promise a lot. But Cat was not who she'd been 8 months prior. So how did she do it? How did Cat finally say no? Cat's limbic system and frontal lobe fight to the death. Cat's limbic system and frontal lobe during the last conversation with the hipster were like two sumo wrestlers hunkered down, arms around each other's shoulders, fighting to get the other one out of the circle. The fight was gargantuan. Cat's limbic system was fully awash with promise of renewed love, while her frontal lobe was trying to navigate its way around all the usual cognitive traps. But the critical thinking part of her brain had developed some muscle. The experiences of the past few months had strengthened her critical thinking skills. She had better insight into herself and the people around her, so when the hipster returned, she had more difficulty rationalising away his bad behaviour. Bad behaviour is telling, but kind behaviour is telling too. Having her neighbours concerned and involved affected Cat at a deep subconscious level. They provided her with a perspective that challenged the emotional part of her brain. Kindness and concern can punch through the walls your own brain puts up to keep you from the truth. The neighbours genuinely cared about Cat and had formed a well-grounded opinion that the hipster was not a good and kind person. If you really want to develop your critical thinking skills, you need to seek out opinions that don't concur with your own, especially if you feel your emotions leading the charge. Cat's neighbours forced her to listen to her doubts, which normally struggled to be heard above the shouting of her desire. Of course, the signs of the hipster's true nature were there right from the start, but she'd allowed her thinking to be hijacked by dodgy philosophies like the universe is trying to teach you something in this relationship. As we've discussed over the course of the book, the universe isn't trying to teach you anything. It doesn't care about you. If you're in a relationship that's unhealthy, stop complicating the issue by overlaying it with magical thinking. Cat saw the truth in the end by being supported emotionally and using her critical thinking skills, supplanting her emotional brain with her capacity to discern and evaluate. Belief comes first, reason comes second. Men with half-grey stubble who post videos of themselves standing in the forest sprouting meaningful-sounding poetry are not qualified to give advice on how to live a good life. Getting smarter. Everyone wants to be loved. That may be an obvious statement, but the drive is so strong in us that the effort it takes to override our emotional brain is huge. In literature, TV, films, and the lives of our friends, we are surrounded by examples of love gone wrong. However, the analysis of why they go wrong and what we can do about it is not usually very helpful or accurate. Our friends may be well-meaning, but their advice is often not well-founded. The truth is, we often lurch from one unhealthy relationship to the next without any understanding of what is going on. It doesn't have to be that way. By being on the lookout for flaws in our thinking, we can start to reason with the emotional part of our brain and demand more from the people who are currently sharing our lives. Get your thoughts straight. It's all about him. Are you discounting or forgiving negative, destructive behaviour in your partner? Being jealous and critical and correcting your behaviour is not an expression of love. It's control. The research tells us that all domestic violence starts with the partner exhibiting coercive or controlling behaviour. The sooner you recognise the red flags, the earlier you can get out of the relationship. It's not going to improve. The uncomfortable truth. Seek out opinions from people who you suspect may have a realistic appreciation of your partner, even if you think you might not want to hear what they have to say. Neighbourly love. If your neighbours are reasonable people, reach out to them. There's a lot of evidence that being plugged into a community is one of the most important things you can do for your health. End of Chapter 10. Thanks for tuning in to Why Smart Women with me, Annie McCubbin. I hope today's episode has ignited your curiosity and left you feeling inspired by my anti-motivational style. Join me next time as we continue to unravel the fascinating layers of our brains and develop ways to sort out the fact from the fiction and the over 6,000 thoughts we have in the course of every day. Remember, intelligence isn't enough. You can be as smart as paint, but it's not just about what you know, it's about how you think. And in all this talk of whether or not you can trust your gut, if you ever feel unsafe, whether it's in the street, at work, in a car park, in a bar, or in your own home, please respect that gut feeling. Staying safe needs to be our primary objective. We can build better lives, but we have to stay safe to do that. And don't forget to subscribe, rate and review the podcast and share it with your fellow smart women and allies. Together, we're hopefully reshaping the narrative around women and making better decisions. So until next time, stay sharp, stay savvy, and keep your critical thinking hat shiny. This is Annie McCubbin signing off from Why Smart Women. See you later. This episode was produced by Harrison Hess. It was executive produced and written by me, Annie McCubbin.